Welcome back to The Founder. I am Tasha Sejal, and today we are going to talk about a couple of entrepreneurs, some up-and-coming entrepreneurs in Sri Lanka that are already making a name for themselves. And I don't think I need any introduction for this next one. We got the founder of SOZO. How are you today?
Oh, well, thank you.
Dushantha, tell me about how it all began. How did SOZO come about and when it all started?
Yeah. Okay, so this started 3 years ago.
Okay.
It was an experiment because one of my other businesses is tea, and we used to make iced teas in the office.
Okay.
And we thought, might be interesting to put this in a bottle and let's see whether people will pay for the convenience. But we didn't expect it to be anything that it is today. So we started in our kitchen, a couple of us were just brewing the tea, bottling it ourselves and giving it out for people to try. The feedback was great. Sri Lanka is not traditionally an iced tea market. Even if you talk about tea, it's still struggling to keep up with coffee. So we didn't really have big hopes, but we were just really passionate about how good it tasted and the possibility. We wanted to know, we wanted to try out. So we gave it a try, yeah. And but we wanted to do things differently. From the start, we realized that there was too many products that were appealing or looked good, but were packed with preservatives and different things. So our product is the only one of its kind which can stay outside a chiller or without any cold storage for 1 year with no preservatives. So that's really interesting for all of our customers.
So what would you say was the hardest part beginning, at the beginning, how it brought about things?
I think operational know-how and technical know-how, because we had a dream. We wanted to create something that was fresh, like I said, no preservatives, but last for a long time because our customers demanded a longer shelf life. So that was an obstacle. So I'm not a food scientist, and we don't really know anyone who knows that kind of thing. So I would actually go to supermarkets and look at some other products and just stare at the label, just hoping that some sense of information would come out. And but it's beautiful. Things fall in place. When you pursue something, things open up. You suddenly stumble upon someone who happens to be, having some access to that industry, or you come across an article. And for us, it was a journey of things falling in place.
Yeah.
It was a graceful journey. So I think, hardest part was that. But I think in 6 months since we started, we were first bottling it, and we had a shelf life of 3 weeks. And that was not good enough. We were going, out of stock and also out of expiry. And we said, okay, let's make this jump. And in 6 months' time, we started commercially bottling. Yeah. And we landed our first big customer at the time, Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf. They were our biggest customer at the time. Yeah. So but that would have been our first obstacle.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, and it's amazing how far you've come as well. So another thing is, just off camera, I was asking Dushantha about how the brand SOZO has been around so many places, and just the other day I just dropped into a pizza shop and I asked you about it, and you said that you didn't know.
Sure.
So it's pretty much everywhere now, and what do you think about that?
Yeah, that's really exciting. Something completely unexpected. We've adopted a very lean business model, so distribution happens through different parties. So we concentrate on what we're good at, which is manufacturing and also our marketing and sort of branding, whereas distribution is done through several other parties. So that means that we tap into networks of other people who've been in the market longer than us, been more established. So it just starts spreading like wildfire. And I think tourists have been a big market for us. So in the East Coast, if you go now next month, you'll see our branding everywhere, and that's just a natural adaptation. We didn't really have to tell anyone, we'll pay you X amount of like a fee to have our branding. Nothing. These are local shopkeepers, restaurant owners who said, we love your brand, our customers love your product, just do more, be more visible here. So I think, again, it's a matter of things falling in place.
Yeah, for sure. And coming into 3 years, you said,
exactly,
in this industry, what would you say is, something that you are looking forward to in the year 2019? It has been a very challenging year for sure for many, but we still have a couple of months left, so what are we to expect?
I'm optimistic.
Okay.
I think that even the current situation would phase over, and what I really like is people are quite confident themselves.
Yeah.
And I think since we've been through a situation of civil war and stuff in the past, I think we are hardened, and our people are ready to come to bounce back. So no, I don't think that's going to have an effect. But in terms of us, we are really excited because we're launching a new experience in beverages. That's coming on the 15th of May, and I wish we were talking to post that, but that could be saved for another time. It's going to be something completely unexpected.
Okay.
It's bringing something in food into a beverage. It's a blow of categories. It's going to blow people's minds off. So that's really exciting for us.
Okay.
And also international growth. So now we export to several countries in Europe, and we're starting up in the region, in Australia.
Okay.
So we're quite optimistic. This year is going to be good for us.
Okay. Dushantha, now you've been into this business for some time now, and what would you say, becoming an entrepreneur, being what you are today, what would be your definition of success?
Yeah, that's something I think a lot about. I think the success will look like something for sure. It look like really big offices, it look like really big platforms, networks across the world, all of that. And personally, maybe fancy cars or whatever. It'll look like something for sure. And each of us have a different way of going about it. But I think real success is when money works for you and you don't work for money. And that's, I think, it goes along the way of working smart instead of working hard. Working hard is good. You learn a lot of things along the way, and of course, to work smart, you have to have first worked hard. But what I see a lot is that people still continue to do the same thing the same way every single day, and that kind of you spend your life thinking, oh, I'm a really hard worker. But you if you just switched on your thinking and your your ability to sort of see through the gaps and work smart, you realize there's far more productive ways of doing what you do and more effective. So yeah, I think for me, it's got to be the other way around.
So you being in the food and beverage industry, there's a lot of challenges that come with it, and of course there's a lot of people who are trying to open up their own businesses, and many I have spoken to have failed and they give up very easily. Is there a piece of information or a piece of advice that you would like to spread out to those young entrepreneurs in saying that they want to have their own brand, make their own iced tea or iced coffee or anything in that matter? What would you say is the key thing that they need to keep pushing forward?
Yeah, that's several things actually, very interesting because a lot of entrepreneurs, and like you said, I meet a lot of people as well, they're stuck on three things. One is finance, second thing is network,
yes,
and third thing is the question of success itself.
yes.
And if you look at all these three things, they become the obstacles themselves. But if you realize that you have to start at some point,
Yes.
then you kind of work around those obstacles. So I mean, I found out people who are like, how much money did you put into your startup? Like they ask me, and I'm like, less than you can ever imagine. So then they're like, but how do you accelerate? So I think every human is a rocket ship ready to launch, to get extremely successful, all of that. But a lot of people have lots of ideas. It's got to be this way. I've got to have a fancy office at this place. I've got to have a car. You start putting all these sort of ideas in place, and you sort of create obstacles for yourself. So we started at the good market. We were a tuck shop vendor, if you think about it. We just operated on the weekends. And how could that transform into exports and having, now for example, Shangri-La stocks us as the only local beverage in all their minibars in their rooms. That's for us, that's really exciting because it's an international brand, it's an endorsement on a high level. So I think you have to start somewhere, and trust me, like through experience. When you start, it's almost like the entire universe just sort of conspires to give you success because it shows a very progressive nature. You're not looking at what you don't have. And we come from a background where we don't really have access to huge finance institutions or funds or whatever. But we never made that an obstacle. So if right now if what was available to us was the good market or a similar platform, then we would do that to the best of our ability, without thinking, is this enough, or is this how I want to be seen amongst my friends, or all these kinds of things. And you realize as you start doing that, you almost open up a realm, and that just starts pushing you further and further into success. So if it's finance, okay, scale down, start small. If it's network, go meet people, get more social, you know, come out of your comfort zone. So I think obstacles honestly are meant to be smashed. I don't look at an obstacle as, oh my gosh, it's a wall and whatever. I spend every day thinking, how am I going to smash this obstacle? And that's really important. I think if young people, or I'm young myself, but I'm saying entrepreneurs, people in startups can learn to work with what they have in their hand. There's a reason why they are in a particular place at a particular time. There's a reason for that.
Yes.
So if we learn to work within that, we can, you start to see the train rolling. So yeah, I would say start, just do it.
This next question is for our venue sponsor, Colombo Cooperative, that provide modern workspaces and services for any companies of all types. And this is for Dushantha, especially. What was your workspace like? Your first workspace like?
Yeah, for us, it was a garage.
It was a garage.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly. Something that I'm really proud of, because actually when we started we had zero. I would have, looking at the space here, I would love to have had a space like this to start, but no, it was the garage. And my wife and I would, she's also a co-founder of our business, and we would do everything based at the garage.
It's a garage. Wow, that's amazing. So it's pretty much like pretty much where all these famous founders, especially like the founder of Amazon, that was also a garage. It's pretty cool. I want to ask you one more question. If there's any founder in the food and beverage industry or anywhere else that you would like to have dinner with, perhaps, who would you?
Yeah, I think I'll take that local.
Okay.
Make it
Yes.
local,
Go ahead.
I would probably have dinner with Otara and with Ilya.
Okay. I think that's highly possible.
They're fantastic.
Okay, thanks again, and once again, it is Dushantha De Silva for SOZO Beverages. I hope you have, all the success, and I'm hoping for more in coming up from SOZO Beverages, and yeah, definitely exciting. Thank you so much.